Batman snakes. Day one.
Perfect impression. No notes.
I love it. Like, everybody seems to be able to do like Trump or Christian Bale's Batman. They're like the two easiest things to do. Like, everybody knows what you're trying to impersonate. Where it's like, if I did Obama, it probably doesn't. Don't.
Obama.
You know, it probably wouldn't work. But or Gollum.
Mm-hmm.
Like, anybody could do Gollum. Anyone could do Batman. And now Trump.
I mean, people can do them. What doing them well isn't necessarily like.
I think Gollum is the easiest thing to impersonate. Like, everybody can make that voice. It's not too hard.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it in front of...
I'm not doing it now.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it in front of someone I care about their opinion of me. What's your Godzilla sound?
I was just about to do it.
Well, it's just like that Jar Jar Binks. Everybody can kind of do a Jar Jar.
Jar Jar.
All right. Well, I'm leaving that all in. All right. Welcome to WRPL. It's the podcast where we talk about all the things we were watching, reading, playing, and listening to. My name's Ben.
And I'm Steve.
What's up, Steve? Oh, happy birthday, Steve.
Oh, thanks, man. Happy birthday to you, and happy birthday to all the future birthdays out there. You know?
Just cover your bases.
Yep.
Just, if you're listening to this at any time, happy birthday to you. Because it could be. Welcome, Nick. Nick has joined us again.
Thanks for having me.
Got nothing to do on a Sunday, so you might as well come to the least listened podcast on the internet. Our main topic is Death of a Unicorn. I mean, we didn't confirm this. You did go see it, right?
I did. Yeah.
Okay, good. I got a couple of things. You said you have a bunch of stuff.
And by a bunch, I mean 4.
Okay. Nick's always got stuff as well. Let's start with a roll.
I'm going lefty this time. Damn it!
What?
Oh, what's it? Oh, it's a 1.
Oh, ooh, Steven.
Well,
Nick, you want to go?
I get for switching up the dice. 17.
17, okay. All right. I think that's the best roll you've ever done, Nick.
6. Oh.
What the fuck? I got 6 last time.
I don't feel so bad about the 1 now.
Okay, well, a couple of things before we get into the main stuff. So your dream came true. I guess it was your birthday wish when we did our looking forward episode. And the things you were not looking forward to, Saw 11, it's been canceled.
Oh, nice.
So you don't, even though it's a weird thing for you to be like, ugh, I hate this. I don't want to say, it's like, it's not for you. We know it's not for you, but your bad juju got all over it and it got canceled.
It's good to know I have that kind of power.
I think it was about a health insurance thing again and like a CEO. And I'm sure the studio was all like, let's maybe not do that. And like, but these movies, I think the 11 that they've made, it hasn't cost more than $50 million to make all 11 movies, and they've made over $1 billion.
Sure.
Why wouldn't you do even the bad Saw movies make money? Just fucking do it.
It's like a Halloween tradition.
Yeah. Anywho, so
pass.
Happy birthday. The other thing I want to talk about is the Final Destination trailer.
Okay. I
am so excited for this movie now. That trailer really heightened my anxiety, and that's exactly what Final Destination, death scenes are, just waiting oh my god, what's going to happen? You think someone's going to swallow this piece of glass, but
I will say the barbecue sequence was good.
Yeah.
Because I was definitely like, if I see one person, like, their gums go into this blade, I'm going to flip out. And then it just, someone steps on it. But still, it was well done.
Yeah, and I heard that the big opening death thing was a tower on fire, and I thought it was like an apartment building, but no, this is looks like the stratosphere at in Las Vegas. And I only have one like nitpick sort of thing. In all the other Final Destinations, death misses you, he comes right for your ass like the next day, a week later. How is this lady able to survive death, have children and all these offsprings, and death never came back for her? Death's on vacation?
I don't care.
Nick, any thoughts on this?
I care on the sense like, they should stick with the rules that the series has established, but I don't care about the movie.
Maybe there is something like, if you took a Final Destination on 9/11, okay, but it wasn't part of 9/11. It was just you had your vision of something else happening on 9/11. But Death was too busy like reaping all those souls that he couldn't come back for you. He was just too busy.
Too busy. I don't
And
think
then
that's how
by the
death
time
works.
9/11 was done, it's like, oh my god, what a whirlwind! And I think I got them all, but you snuck by.
Yeah, maybe there's some sort of like demonic deal of just like, oh, death missed me, and then Death's like, I've come back for you. It's like, well, I'll make you a deal. Let me live, and then you can take my children 30
Okay.
or my grandchildren 30 years from now, because I don't care about those little shitheads.
That'd be interesting for them to actually make Death a
Those are long
character. Oh yeah, that's
fair
long
enough,
legs. Yeah.
Long legs, I liked.
All right. Well, Nick, you won, so you get to go first. What do you want to talk about?
Well, since we're gonna talk about Death of a Unicorn,
Say
I
that
saw
one.
Locked.
Oh, how was that? I was thinking of seeing it today, but it just didn't line up well.
Yeah, I liked it. It's like it's kind of I know it's funny you just talked about Saw. It's not like a trap like Saw trap, and there's no like gore like that or anything in it, but it's similar. Like Anthony Hopkins is trying to get his revenge on like the scum of the city.
Oh,
and
not
stuff.
particularly him. It's just
Yeah.
you represent all that's bad. And
Yeah, I guess his car had been broken into multiple times, and then you later find out that a while ago he had a daughter, and then someone tried to rob him and kills his daughter in the altercation. Yeah, and then like all the people trying to get into the car, he decides to set a trap with the car, and Bill Skarsgård's character just goes into it because he's trying to get steal some stuff from it to get a little cash because he's kind of poor.
But let me guess, he's not that bad a guy.
No, he's not.
You know,
He's not a
I
bad
just
guy at all.
my daughter's sick, and I just saw an opportunity or something like that.
It's not like a sick daughter thing. It's just he's trying to be good for his daughter because like his I guess his ex whatever doesn't think much of him, and he doesn't have a lot of money. He literally just wants enough money to fix his van, get it out of the shop so he can pick up his daughter on time and be reliable and be there for her. And that's really it. So he's not a bad guy.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean it's short. A lot of it does take place in the car. I like Bill Skarsgård a lot.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think he's funny in it. He's good in it. Anthony Hopkins is. I was worried that it was gonna be like he was just kind of toying with him a little bit, but like he intends to kill him the whole time.
Oh, really?
And he is kind of fucking with him a lot. And
Can he drive the car?
no, like he has the car jerry rigged in a way.
I mean, can Anthony Hopkins?
Oh
can
yeah,
he drive
remotely.
it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And there is a scene where that finally happens. Like Bill Skarsgård's character thinks he got it to drive like suddenly, and he starts driving it, and then he takes control of it. He's like, "Ah, you stupid idiot!" But yeah, it's well paced. It's well acted. I like the ending a lot, and yeah, it's good. I probably liked it. Well, I don't want to say this because we're about to talk about it, but I probably liked it a little more than Death of a Unicorn
Okay.
for various reasons. Yeah, I think it's gonna go under the radar.
It's another movie that I know I wanted to watch, but I just didn't have time for it. Like I was telling you, Novocaine and this, and just there's always something.
Yeah, we were just saying like lately a bunch of like low key movies are getting dropped, and even us three and our friend Lauren all have the pass, but we can't get to all of them, you know. So I got to that one, and I fully planned on watching Death of a Unicorn and another movie in the same day, but like sometimes I can't even bring myself to do double. So
Yeah, even that, like, oh, I'll get something to eat afterwards, but then it almost feels like a chore. Oh,
Yeah.
God, I got to go back. Or I still got 30 minutes before this even starts, and you know Regal with their previews, and then you start doing the math. I'm not going to get home for 4 hours. I'm just going home now.
yeah, it's one thing if you have like a week off or something,
Yeah.
you can hit one each day.
Uh-huh.
But 2 in a row, even with 2 hour and a half movies, is still a lot of your day. So.
Oh, what was us? It's so hard being us.
Yeah.
All right, Steve, since you got a lot, how about you go next?
I'll go with I'll do 2 real quick because I don't have much to say about them. I watched the first 2 episodes of The Studio, starring Seth Rogen.
Oh, damn it.
We won't talk about it until the season's over. But for the first 2 episodes, I really liked it a lot. There's a lot of long takes. Episode 2 is called The Oneer, where they're shooting a really long take in a movie, but the actual episode is a oneer.
Oh, very creative.
It's very good. It's the kind of show that I think is, you know, it's about Hollywood and a lot of its absurdity, but it's filled with cameos. It's kind of like a Entourage in that way, but is actually filled with comedians who are really funny. And like every movie that's ever existed exists in this world. They're not faking anything. The only thing that's like made up is this is like there's an extra studio called the Continental, and Seth Rogen is now like running it, and he's like the only actor who's like not Seth Rogen in the movies. We haven't established they exist yet, but like in the first episode they run into Martin Scorsese and talk to him about Goodfellas, and want to make it. He's like, oh, I want to make Rosemary's Baby, like that kind of stuff, and just him struggling with having to keep the studio afloat and make money while also not trying to like want to make prestige stuff. And the only negative thing I would say about it is like kind of cringy at times, because like episode 2 especially, because he's at a set where no one wants him to be there, and he's constantly like kind of ruining things, but he's the head of the studio, so they can't really kick him out. But it's all really good stuff, and I look forward to the rest of the season, see what kind of stuff they do. The first episode, they're trying to make the Kool-Aid movie, and like why they're doing that, it's really funny.
All right. Is it a dark and gritty, or are they just
well, the guy that kind of passes the torch to Seth Rogen is played by Bryan Cranston, but I'm not sure if he's like he doesn't necessarily look like Bryan Cranston. So I'm not sure if they'll like run into actual Bryan Cranston later. Anyway, but he's like, hey, I'm passing the torch to you, but before you do, I want you to make the Kool-Aid movie. And so Seth Rogen's trying to figure out a way to like, he's like, I don't want to fucking make the Kool-Aid movie. Like, what the fuck is the Kool-Aid movie? But then he like really wants to work with Scorsese. So he talks to Scorsese, and Scorsese's like, oh, I want to make this, what was that cult that drank the Kool-Aid?
Oh, yeah. It slips my mind.
But whatever that cult is, he's like, I want to tell that story. And he's like, all right, Scorsese, I'll buy a script for $10 million. You can make it. And Scorsese's like so happy. He's like, I only have one condition. You call it Kool-Aid. And so now he's trying to pitch this like Kool-Aid movie starring Steve Buscemi as like this dark gritty thing just to like appease his boss. But it's not actually about the Kool-Aid man.
And how do you get Kool-Aid on board with their brand name?
It's all some pretty good stuff. And Ike Barinholtz is like his number 2, and he's always funny.
Yeah.
And
all right, Steve, pitch it. What's the Kool-Aid movie?
Well, they do a pitch, but what's my Kool-Aid movie? Let's see. Kool-Aid Man has been busting down doors, sugaring up kids for the past 30 years, and you know what? He's seen how his sugary sweetness has wrecked communities and just kind of become a joke. And he wants to, branch out and do something with his life. He's like, I'm tired. Maybe I can, be a healthy option. But no one wants that from me. They just want me to burst in and say, "Oh yeah." Well, oh no, my friend, I want something more. And meanwhile, he's got a ex-wife who's played by a real human.
Oh, yeah.
And they have a daughter probably played by Jenna Ortega. And
it should be part glass, part human. Like she has the head of Kool-Aid Man, but a human body.
Sure. And he's just trying to connect with her, but she doesn't want anything to do with him because it's like, all you do is damage things, Dad. Like this relationship that we had. And it's just them on a road trip together trying to find themselves. And
maybe like she needs to choose what sort of punch she wants in her head. He chose years ago red was his thing, but that's part of their culture.
Yeah, or maybe it can be kind of like a story of like, oh, she has red punch in her head, but she really sees herself as a purple punch kind of thing. And he's, you
were born a red punch. You are not turning into a purple punch.
And and then at the end, he, there's an accident, and she's like, Dad, don't go. I love you, and I want you to stay. And he's like, oh yeah. That's what he says.
Oh,
we're like,
yeah. What does he say?
I thought you guys were gonna catch on.
No, because the tone was so different.
I know, that's the thing.
And like, I think that's powerful because people in the audience will do the same thing of us, waiting and then realize.
And then
oh my God, that's
like, oh yeah. Well, I'm glad I could break through this metaphorical wall that we've had with each other. And then they drive off in the sunset. She's the Kool-Aid she wants to be, and he's a better father, and realize he doesn't have to change, or he didn't have to, find himself. He just had to find his daughter.
Oh,
and there's the Kool-Aid movie.
I'd watch it.
Yeah, it's not terrible, Steve.
Thank you.
Especially for
yeah,
and not having any prep time. That was pretty good. You said there was a second thing you want to talk about?
Oh yeah. Oh, I watched season 4 of Mythic Quest. I didn't really enjoy the first 3 seasons. This season,
You didn't enjoy?
No, I did.
Oh, okay.
And honestly, I think each season has one of the best episodes of television I've seen that year. Each year, it shows that Rob McElhenney can like really act because there's a lot of good like emotional moments between him and his like partner, and just a good cast of funny people. It's a good show, but this 4th season, I don't know what happened. I was just like, no, I'm just gonna watch this show while I'm also on my phone, so I
Yeah.
didn't care about really editing it. There was one good episode I really liked this season, but then everything else I was like, you know what? I'm cool if the show has one more season. It's just done. So season 4 didn't really do much for me. Anyway,
All right.
continue.
Do you want to just talk real quick about Wheel of Time in that episode that you were gushing about last week?
Sure, I guess.
No, I mean it was really good. I
Okay.
really enjoyed that episode.
I thought you were just like building this up to like,
Yeah,
let me shit on you.
You were so dumb.
You're so
no,
dumb.
it was really. I wanted more. It was like, okay, I don't care where the show's going. Let's keep going back in time.
Yeah.
I love seeing the ancestry of people and a good. It's a good method of storytelling with him walking through the pillars and
Yeah, I think I've never seen an episode of television that does so much lore dump
Yeah.
that explains like how a culture is created and how it branches off into subcultures
Mhm.
and explained what the evil thing is and how it was one of the coolest
Yeah.
episodes. Of just like, here's a bunch of stuff that if this was the first episode, you'd be like, what the fuck is
yeah.
happening? But like everything that led before, you're like, oh, this is really awesome. And just how the people of the spear, like, oh, we believe in, you know, we want to be pacifist, but we're just here to protect these people. And so like we're the violent group, we're the non-violent group, but we came from the same people.
Yep.
It's all very cool stuff.
Yeah. I totally forgot about. Was it season 1 where we got a flashback and there was all the flying cars and everything, or was that season 2?
I think that was the end of season 1. It was like a little.
Yeah.
It was like the tag at
of
the end of season. Yeah.
And I totally forgot about that. So when we were jumping backwards in time and then we're seeing all this future tech, I'm like, oh yeah, that was a thing. Cool. I can't wait for us to get there. That may be 9 seasons from now, but whatever. But that's all. Okay, that's cool.
Good stuff.
Okay, well, speaking of oneers, I watched a show on Netflix called Adolescence.
And that's what I want to talk about. Can we make this the main topic? No, we can make it definitely be.
Okay, so
that was my. That was
your other thing.
Oh, I have one more, but
well, this is the only thing I have besides Ash that I saw last week.
I watched Frieren Beyond Journey's End, an anime.
You watched what?
Frieren. That's her name.
Okay.
It's about this 1,000-year-old elf, and her and her party of heroes defeat, like the episode 1's like, oh yeah, we defeat the bad guy. That doesn't matter. And then it's just her kind of like running into other people, and it's kind of like this cute, kind of whimsical show about like, you know, she's trying to connect with people because she's, you know, 1,000 years old and she doesn't quite get like the meaning of death, while like all of her friends have now pretty much passed on, and you know, she should cherish those times. And it's really. I heard so much good stuff about it. I was like, I'll give it a try. It's not super action heavy, but when the action does happen, I was like, oh, that's pretty good. It has some slight moments of like the anime stuff I hate, but so far that's like not sexual or nudity or anything like that.
None of that. Even though she's 1,000 years old, she looks like she's 8.
I mean, she's an adult. Like they're all
right,
adults essentially. There's no one on the team who's like 14 or anything like that.
Okay.
But anyway, it was cute. I like the first half of the season more than the second half of the season. But yeah, I wouldn't say like you have to see it. But for an anime, I was like, this is better than I expected it to be.
Okay.
But yes, Adolescence.
Adolescence. All right, I'll start.
Did you watch Adolescence?
I didn't. I don't.
Well, we may spoil it,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna say right off the bat, like, don't worry about it. This show's not very good.
Good things.
I think people say it's a really good show. One, it tackles a good subject matter.
Sure.
I like the whole incel stuff, red pill, manosphere shit. That's good. But there's one episode that really focuses on it, episode 3.
Yep.
And that's the only one you need to watch. Everything else is pointless. Episode 1 and 2, if it didn't have its oneer gimmick, could have been cut down to one episode. And I do not know why they use this gimmick in this. It doesn't add anything to the story. I like oneers. We saw one not too long ago in Black Bag, and that kind of solidified it for me, where he goes inside a club, finds a guy, walks outside of a club, has a conversation. What was the point to do that? That it was unnecessary. It was just Soderbergh being flashy. in a lot of other things, like say Boogie Nights, of following William H. Macy to like kill his wife and then kill himself. It's like he's on a singular mission, and it's like, I get it. But with this, you're in the police station and, well, we're going to dip from this character and grab this one who happens to be walking up the stairs. And I just think it is wasted on this show because Netflix is all about being second screen content. They want you on your phone, but watching their stuff. And so if you're doing that, you're not paying attention to any of the like really amazing choreography of getting this actually done in one shot with no CG, no hitting cuts or anything like that. So it's wasted on Netflix when they don't even care if you watch their stuff. And then it's wasted on this material because it doesn't seem to serve any purpose and actually hinders the bigger story, because everything in the first episode is worthless until the final 10. Episode 2 is all about figuring out, talking to the school, and you don't really get much besides the cop gets a clue and, you know, gets a clue from his son, and then we never see these characters again. And then the fourth episode, like a fifth of it is just driving to the Home Depot, talking about a song in the past, and it made this show so tedious that I was interested in the case, but there's no resolution. We don't know how it all wraps up. We don't see the court, you know, the whole trial or nothing. I think this is extremely overhyped.
Strongly disagree. I was really excited I wasn't sure if you were going to watch this.
I did it because my buddy said, like, dude, man, you got it. This is amazing. And I'll say, because he really liked the acting, and that's why he was recommending it.
Mhm.
That kid, great actor. That third episode, really good. Everyone's good in it.
Yep.
But it's not the gimmick doesn't match the subject matter, and it's worse for it.
I disagree. This is the kind of show that I think was made for me, and it's the kind of show that I think I would have loved to have said, I made this. And, you know, seeing some of the stuff in terms of you saying, like, this doesn't mean anything or it's wasted or whatever, you know, them talking about, well, we want to do a show where, like, it happens in real time, so it, like, keeps the audience there, which is, like, kind of the point of Oneers, is just, like, we're never away from the action. You never, because sometimes you're watching movies and you're watching Oneers and you're like, wait, have we not cut? And like, it takes you a while to realize that you're doing that because you're so used to, like, the average cut time is what, 7 seconds? And this doesn't have any of that. But as I'm watching it, I'm just blown away by I'm so curious as to, like, how they made it and how the choreography of how, like, did they, like, write the script with, like, no real direction, and they found the spot and they're like, all right, how do we do this? Or did they find
like
the location?
The overhead thing you're talking about. Like,
no, but
oh,
like, do we find the location, like, and then we write the script around this, where we've decided, okay, this is our police station. How are we going to tell the story in this way?
No, this room has to be here because they got to get here X amount of seconds quicker.
I'm just so curious about I mean, I think if you're like a film nerd, this is the kind of thing, like, you want to, like, dissect and dive into. But in terms of performances, I really liked everyone in it. I mean, Stephen Graham's one of those character actors that you've seen in a bunch of stuff, and he's never, like, had a standout role, but I think he's really good in this. The kid who the case is about, he's never acted before. This is his first acting thing, and he's really good. I really liked episode 2 because it's not filled, but there's quite a few young actors who do a really good job. And yes, they don't ever come back, and you think because the first 2 episodes has the cop, and you're like, okay, so every episode's going to kind of follow him and like him going through the different sections of the case. But I think, like, episode 1 was just really well done, and how they, like, you know, start out outside, and you follow the cop car into the house, and you're going through the house, and you're, you know, meeting the family in this very intense situation. Like, it immediately gets you into it.
But if they cut, like, as soon as they got to the police station, the door shuts, boom, cut to black, and then we fade into the room. Like, oh, look, we open the show with this really cool Warner. Love it. But it doesn't serve any purpose in the rest of it. It's just traveling through hallways, and it just creates so much dead air. So many just boring walking. Did you ever see Gus Van Sant's Elephant?
I did, yeah.
it's like that. Like,
Yeah,
hey, we're gonna follow this kid from the football field all the way to the lunchroom. It's 7 minutes long, and there's no dialogue. Like, Jesus
that's
Christ,
one movie where
get to the fucking point.
that's one movie where I only watched it because I was like, oh, a school shooting movie, like
Mhm.
that seems interesting. But that's one of those cases where like, yeah, those long oneers that's just behind someone's back, I don't really like those. What the wrestler had a lot of those
Mhm.
shots where he's just like behind Mickey Rourke as he just
Mhm.
walks down the street. Like I'm not too huge on those, but I think how they did this wasn't that. Yeah, there's a lot of people walking, but I think they're always, for the most part, walking and talking. There's never, to me, it never really felt like there was much dead air, because you're always engaged with what people are saying, even if it's like kind of the cops on the side, like the camera's following one guy, but cops are speaking on the side. You're always just, it just feels like you're kind of there without it being like, oh, it feels like, oh, I'm walking behind this guy
Mhm.
personally. But yeah, for the first episode, I was engaged the entire time, and you're kind of going like, oh, well, this kid doesn't see, he's denying it this whole time. He seems very, sweet. You feel bad for this kid because look how upset he is. Like, there's, maybe you don't necessarily go right away like, oh, there's no way he did it, but there's no evidence to say that he did. Like, and
Mhm.
we just jump into this kid being arrested, and we have no idea what evidence they have, and then you get to the end, and you're like, holy shit, like that kid fucking did it.
Mhm.
And then, but as you're watching the show, you're kind of going like, well, did he though?
Mhm.
Because you never quite see his face as he's stabbing, and you kind of want to believe that like this kid didn't do it. And then episode 2, I was really blown away with how they choreographed that, an even bigger building, and with all these child actors and like the amount of people there.
Mhm.
Like that's all really impressive. And the one shot where he like goes through the window, I was like, how the fuck did they do that?
Yeah.
But it was just a digital effect.
Yeah.
But it was all still in.
Mhm.
But the whole show, I'm just like blown away by the technical aspect of it.
The technical
Which,
stuff is
but take
amazing.
that aside, and I like that it was broken up into, it's not about necessarily the case and because there's been so many cop shows where we follow
Sure.
a case.
Yeah, yeah.
We go. It would have been so easy to do a courtroom episode, but it's not about that kid and the crime he did. It's about that kid and how it affects like the world around him and the community, and like what was school like and what could have led this kid to do this thing. And it's like, oh, dad, you're not, like, the cops aren't even thinking about like, oh, it's some incel red
Mhm.
pill like 80-20 thing or whatever that kid was saying.
Yeah.
But you're like, oh, okay, like this the you think, oh, maybe he, the whole time, because the of the victim, you're like, oh, he did it because he didn't like it, but then you find out, oh, well, she was like kind of bullying him too,
Mhm.
and it's like, so it's the something you didn't expect, so maybe you know you feel bad for him again. And then episode 3 is honestly probably like my least favorite episode.
What the fuck are you talking about? This is where all, like, besides the tail end of the last episode where the parents are crying, this is like where all the acting is.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's pretty much all in one room, and it's really impressive when you have two actors kind of really. I mean, there's moments where two other actors kind of come
Yeah.
in, but really it's just a two-hander with these two people in a room, and it's great stuff. Just this young kid who's just crushing in a first acting role, and this woman who I've never seen in anything, she's doing
Mhm.
great. But I think I would say it's only my least favorite, not because of the content, but because I was so impressed with how they did the first 2
Yeah.
episodes that you kind of lose that, because
Yeah,
I've
you
seen
can just around a room,
Yeah,
into the hallway,
yeah,
around.
you're just
Yeah.
pretty much spinning the camera back
Sure.
and forth.
But since I didn't care for any of that oneer stuff, like, I wasn't distracted with this being a single take. This is an acting showcase. This is a stage show. All that other stuff is just like window dressing to pad out smaller stories. Like,
But I think, all right, let's say you add the cuts in, it's like a normal thing. It would still be a pretty solid show, and you know, I I think that maybe you watch it with the cuts and you feel the same way about it. But like, at least I think with this, it adds another layer to it that like this is kind of an interesting way to tell a story, and I'd like to see this kind of done more, because shows don't do this for a reason because they're really hard to pull off. And
sure.
I think when you can do it, it is worth. I think it does heighten the storytelling because you read a book, you're just reading the book. You're getting a straight line.
Sure.
You're you're playing a video game. It's a straight line. You're listening to a song. It's a straight line. But
there's cutscenes and stops for dialogue and things like that. Like God of War is the only one that's
well, sure, but that's why it's one of the best.
yeah,
but
you don't notice it in video games because that's the design as you're with the character.
Yeah, you're
the
constantly
whole time.
pretty much
you're following behind that person the entire time.
Yeah. And I'm not saying this is the greatest piece of
you think
cinema,
it's the greatest thing,
but I really, really liked it. And just to like end on the family in episode 4, yeah, I could see the frustration of just like people in a car talking about the bass player in a band or whatever. But it's a real moment, and you need those moments of like, look how like it's been a year. This family has like clearly tried to move on. They're trying to have happy moments, and they're constantly reminded day after day that their son did this thing, or maybe he didn't do it because we don't actually know. But the kid is just like, I'm pleading guilty because even up until episode 4, he's like, I didn't do it.
I mean, there's this little slip up in episode 3 of him saying he did it.
Like we as
you're confusing me.
We as an audience were like, yeah,
you did it. Come on, kid.
But some people might go like, well, maybe he didn't, because in another story we would say we definitely need to know if he did it or not. Yeah. We don't want ambiguity, but it wasn't really about this case. You never talk about the girl and her family, and so she's lost in the sauce, and then you just have this family just like wrecked by this thing, and to get to the end and go like, we didn't do anything wrong.
We could have maybe done more, but we didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, it's like, but it just goes to show, and it's just like nightmare fuel for like someone who's a parent, because it's like, I could do basically everything right. He could grow up in a good home. I never hit him. I never yelled at him.
And he could end up killing you in your sleep.
Yeah, or he sees one thing on the internet and it just kind of leads him down the rabbit hole that makes him do this thing. And he's great when he's with you, and then it just turns out he's kind of a shithead outside this thing, and you just don't know. But then you also have this other kid. You did all the same things with her, but she turns out great. And it's I think it was especially episode 4. It's a beautiful way to end the series, and I just disagree. I think it really adds a lot to
Hour 45-minute movie, cut out all the extraneous bullshit, has that, has some dynamic editing and stuff. You could turn this into a movie, and I would be perfectly fine not seeing every bit, because you could only do so much.
I don't think you could do this in an hour 45, but
I think so. Absolutely.
I mean, you could do it. I just don't think you'd get a lot out of it. It would be so
30
procedural,
seconds,
so generic.
Like him getting arrested and booked, 30 seconds of that movie, and that's 15 minutes. You could absolutely take this 4 hours and put it into a movie.
Episode 1, I really like that they go like beat by beat of like, oh, this is him during booking, where the cop is, they arrested, it's theoretically a murderer, but he's a child, and they're very kind to him. Like it's so easy for us to watch a movie involves cops and like, oh, this motherfucker did it. Let's treat him like shit because we're gonna try and break him. But everyone, like, there's no shitty copness in this. Like they're all
they all know he did it, but they're all just playing nicey nice.
And then like how the lawyer character would come in, and how UK does it differently than, I don't know, the breakdown of how they do things versus us and all that stuff. But as a parent, as a viewer, you're kind of like, well, don't listen to that, or why did he do that, or like, come on, Dad, step in. Like you're constantly, as an audience, trying to figure out like, not only did this kid do it, but like, could they be doing a better job for him? And then you get to the end, it's like, oh shit, well, he probably did it then. Yeah. I liked seeing all the beats, and like in episode 2, I liked watching the officer, kind of not getting anywhere with these kids, and these kids are just like being so disrespectful to the police. It's like, I couldn't imagine being 14 and telling a cop to basically like go fuck themselves in class in front of my teachers, and the teacher's going like, yeah, these kids are fucking shitheads. Like, what do you want me to do? And he's just on a movie, getting nowhere. And and we have this little snippet of him and his son. Like, this son does not have a good relationship with his dad, but we never find out why. And that's okay. But it adds a layer to it of just like, here's another parent with a shitty kid, but like, or not a shitty kid, who thinks his dad is shit, but like they go have fries at the end. Like they're still trying to hold on to this relationship, and I think all that stuff really adds to it. You have that episode 2. You have that girl who is the best friend character. Sure. She has a great scene. It's like, who's this girl? She's really good.
But they're all just little snippets.
But they're little snippets.
Not enough to like
life. I think it's great.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like hearing someone tell a story and hearing it from 4 different people, and they're all just telling 1 minute and then it goes to the next person for another minute. I don't know. I was not enjoying myself. I was tuned out by the last
If you
episode.
didn't watch this, I would have pitched it to you, but at the same time, I could see it. I had a feeling I could see Ben not digging the show as much as everyone else. I didn't think you would hate it, but I think you'd go like, yeah, it's fine. But I was really impressed with the show. I think there's gonna be some awards talk.
No, this will be completely forgotten.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will just be another Netflix thing, just in the pile of Netflix.
I mean,
content.
I think most things will be forgotten because there's just too much content.
Sure, no,
but,
yeah, that's true.
You know,
but I don't think
it's not going to be Breaking Bad or anything. But
we'll never hear about this again.
All right,
we'll bet a quarter on it. This will not be nominated for a single thing.
All right, I'll take the bet right now.
All right, Nick, what you got?
Okay.
Then we'll get to the main topic.
Well, you didn't say that George Foreman died. I was surprised.
No. Usually
we just talk about
actors and stuff.
Okay.
I mean, like, I thought about it, but I knew I didn't have anything to say about that. So, but R.I.P.
Foreman.
Nice little grill. I had a Foreman grill in my first apartment. They sucked. They're really bad. There's no temperature gauge. There's no on-off switch. You can't wash it because it doesn't come apart. It's pretty terrible, but good idea.
Yeah. I watched a boxing fight last night where they did a beautiful tribute to him before, so that was cool. But anyway, I listened to some stuff.
Okay, cool. We don't get a lot of listen.
Yeah. I'll just go through it quick because I know neither of you care, but there's an artist I listen to called Nav. He's like a Canadian R&B hip hop artist. His new project is really good. Best thing I've probably ever heard from him. All the songs are very vibey. And then a band that I listen to called A Day to Remember. They hadn't put an album out in a long time. They don't drop music very often. They all got kids and families and shit now, but it's fantastic.
All right, cool.
If you like metalcore, pop punk, those things getting mixed together, it's beautiful.
Cool.
I also started Reacher.
Okay.
Season 3. Don't ask me.
Season 3?
You're on 3.
Oh, that's right. It is 3. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's about to finish. I think there's like an episode or 2 left.
Okay.
Don't ask me how or why I decided to click play on certain things. Sometimes I'm just like, I'm gonna start a show, and I know like Wheel of Time I gotta start. I gotta watch Severance. I wanted to watch Adolescence. Like tons of stuff I want to watch, but I just happened to be scrolling. I saw a feature, and I was like, you know what? I want to start this. And I did watch the first 3, and it's not like me to watch an hour drama like 3 episodes in one day.
Sure.
But it was just very watchable. I know everyone's like, it's your dad's favorite show, but it's really watchable.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to feel bad about your physique. But no, it's really good. So far, the season's been really, really good.
Has he fought Bigger Reacher yet?
He hasn't fought him, but they butt heads a couple times, and there's a good scene in the gym in the second episode that I liked, where it's like he got the better of him real quick, and they're about to fight. I can see it's building to them gonna have like a fight.
Keep watching.
But that's a big dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far it's really good. I don't have much to say about it. If you like season 1, you like season 2, you'll probably like this.
I didn't bother with after I watched season 1. I just like, I think I know what this is. I don't need to keep watching.
But yeah, no, I've enjoyed that.
You guys caught up on Daredevil?
Yeah.
It's good shit.
Yeah,
I fucking love this show.
Mm-hmm.
That bank episode was so good. Just Matt Murdock beating up criminals, being real smart about it. Love that shit.
Yeah, I've really liked this season so far, more than I expected to. Really, not that I didn't like the other seasons of Daredevil because they're all great.
Yeah,
but it made me kind of want to go back and watch The Defenders again.
Oh yeah.
Just because I kind of forget about that show a lot.
Like Sigourney Weaver's in it. It's like, oh yeah, she was.
I don't know, but yeah, how many episodes is that? The new one?
It should be 9.
So
I think it's 9 and 9.
Or
no, 2 more. No, that was 5 and 6.
Oh yeah. I thought I was tripping, and
there was 2 episodes. Yeah.
So it's 3 more. 3 more.
Okay, so
okay. Yeah, I thought I was tripping because I watched it. And then I X'd out of it, and there was another one, and I was like, "Did I miss a week of this?" But they did a double drop.
Yeah,
both are really good. I see a lot of people complaining about what's the
Muse.
What they've done with him, but I don't know anything about that character.
The only thing I know is in the comics he does have like a mutant power where he can like pull all the sound out of the room. So it makes it hard for Daredevil to find him if there's no sound.
that's
But, you know,
interesting.
Daredevil goes like, don't listen for the sounds, listen for the no sounds. And then, like, do a double reverse hearing. And now I could lock in on him. Because in the comics, Daredevil's like, you could hear a mouse fart in the sewer 20 miles away. Like, he hears everything. No, he's cool so far.
Oh, okay. So far, I mean, like, at the end of that episode, where was he?
He just got beat up and then ran
And
away.
then- oh, and he ran away.
Yeah.
Okay. I saw some people, like, freeze framing, like, Matt getting punched in the face and blood splattering everywhere.
Yeah.
People, they're like, the cops have never gotten this dude's DNA. His blood is all over these crime
Yeah,
scenes.
that's very true. But
Um,
hey, at least on that one, like, there's blood everywhere.
Yeah.
How can we know whose this is?
I have a question though, and maybe I missed it because I do check my phone here and there. But like, I know he was like on the laptop looking at the subways and the sewers and stuff,
Yeah.
and then he goes down there to find them.
Mm-hmm.
How did he know to look down there for him?
Because the niece of White Tiger
Yeah.
came and talked to him and was saying people go missing around that
Okay.
exit.
Because that was
you
my
know.
next question. I was like, how did she know? And I remember that conversation, but I guess
Yeah.
I didn't. Okay, fair enough. Did you want to say anything about Daredevil?
No, superheroes are gay. And I'm stupid.
I've enjoyed lots of superhero movies. I think it's fine. I'll wait till the end to really like have any real opinion. I think Muse is very cool, and I enjoyed their fight. He's a very scary villain. So I've enjoyed him. It sucks that it took episode 6 to get to him, and there's
Yeah.
3 left. But everything else that's happened, like it just feels like we're all just killing time to get to the last 3 or 2 episodes. Because
Mm-mm.
I mean, episode 5 is fun, but it adds like nothing to the. It's like
So
here.
what do you want? Do you want to just like wait around and get nothing to
I
do until we
want
get to the end,
story
or do you want a
characters.
singular story within it that
If
actually?
it had a one take, I'd really love it. Yeah, I mean, I don't dislike the show. And I think Charlie Cox is great as Daredevil, and I enjoyed the first 3 seasons. Although I really don't remember the first 3 seasons all that much. Like
They were
it's been
very
so
long time
long.
ago.
They were a
Yeah.
long time ago.
Season 2 is the Elektra one,
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
and the
I think,
Punisher
right?
one.
And the Punisher
Yeah,
one.
and then season 3 was Bullseye.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the best one. Season
Um,
3 is so good.
Yeah, I mean, I remember all the fights being really awesome.
Hmm
I
Remember
don't-
when the Punisher like rolled on that guy and picked him up and like fireman carried him out? That was cool.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. I won't pass full judgment till the end, but I really enjoyed all the Muse stuff. I just wish like we spent more time with them, at least for this season, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
Because it's just been more Kingpin and Daredevil,
Mhm.
which is fine, but it's
Yeah.
fine.
Cool. Anything else, Nick, before we get to the main
I
topic?
do.
Okay.
I just want to rant about a game real quick, but
Okay.
I'm only like 2/3 of the way through.
Okay.
I know neither of you have ever played Metal Gear Solid, but I've been trying to play through the first one. When I was a kid, I played this game a little bit, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, so whatever. But I have a lot of nostalgia for it because my older brother played it a lot, and I feel like I've played it because I watched him play it so much. Man, I've been texting him a lot this week saying, like, how the fuck did you play this game at your age without the internet?
Yeah.
How? And he's
Well,
like,
you got to put the ketchup on him to make it look like he's bleeding.
I
Or
literally, that's like
hide under the bed.
that's like the part I'm just like
Yeah.
finished.
It's like the 3 different ways of solving that puzzle.
Like I imagine he might have had a strategy guide, but he says he didn't. But I'm like, I feel like you did.
That sounds like what an older brother would
Yeah.
say. No, man, I just
yeah.
fucking know.
Like I sent it to him, and he was like, "Get good," and I was like, "It's not that simple, Matt." But yeah, it's really hard. It's a really hard game, and I'll be reading Reddit threads, and some people are like, it can be difficult, blah, blah, blah. And then there's other people saying like, oh, I breezed through this game. It's so hard, and not just like difficulty wise, but like knowing what to do and where to go and
Mm-hmm.
how to do it. There's been times I'm like, where the fuck do I go? God damn it, I gotta go to YouTube again. And I look at, and all it is you have to crouch down and go under something, but because of the way the,
The
camera
angle,
is,
yeah.
you can't even tell that you would go
Uh-huh.
under that. Like, how did you find
It's
that
one of those
out?
where it's like you constantly, like, I remember doing it in Resident Evil or Silent Hill. I don't know what to do. So I go into every room and just keep hitting X the whole time because maybe I missed something I picked up or a drawer I need to go into.
But like even in this game, like when I have to go backtrack to like, all right, did I miss something? Because like I forgot, I missed getting the thermal goggles, and you need them for like every fucking boss fight. And like you to backtrack in this game, you're going around cameras and you're going around people that you can't be seen. So it's not just like let me run back here.
Yeah.
Like it's like the anxiety as soon as you get into a room, like, oh god, I gotta like it's very rewarding. Like I feel like maybe I'll be better prepared for like Souls games now if I go try to play some of those now. Like I want to play Black Myth. I know you said I won't like it because it's really hard, and you're probably right. But like if I can just keep trying at a boss and try to learn their patterns, then I might okay. But this game, it's like I get through a boss and it's like, oh, I just died 435 times, but I beat this boss. Let's just play the game for a little bit. But this game is very arcade style where it's like 15 minutes, boss, 15 minutes, boss. There and in those 15 minutes, don't let a motherfucker see you for 2 seconds or a camera or you're dead. And then like everything's a trap. Like I'll go into one room and it's like the floor's electrified. You can't even walk through here. Oh, you triggered the gas. It's like, oh my god.
You gotta use this special homing rocket in order to go up to
was such bullshit. Like that was such like I said, I know it sounds like I hate it. I have such an appreciation for this game because it's so ahead of its time and I know when it was made. But the camera is not your friend, especially in boss fights. Yeah, I think I've died over 100 times for sure, and it's ridiculous. I like in the gameplay video that I've been watching. It's like a 6-hour video, and then obviously they're probably playing it on easy. And God, if I could give anything, I would go back in time and put this on easy.
You can't change it.
No, because I was like, I'll just play it on normal. It's probably fine. God, it's like one of my greatest life regrets right now. It's not starting this game on easy.
I'll put it on your tombstone.
Should have started MGS1 on easy. It's so maddening, but
everybody would think it'd be like, man, that dude played life on hard mode. That guy's cool.
God, if the people who played this on anything more than normal are
the people who play it on hard, they beat it 40 times back in the day and they know everything.
And I do believe it's one of those games where you get to keep certain things that like a cloaking thing or this like if you go back and play it again. So okay, sure. But I know one more thing. Right before the scene you were just talking about with the ketchup and stuff, which God, that pissed me off because like I was like, oh, that's kind of clever. I put the ketchup on, but I didn't put it on when he had walked away. So he was sitting right there and goes, "What are you doing, you stupid idiot? Why are you playing with that ketchup?" And then I like read, I was like, after you do that, you can't do that now. I was like, oh my god! Like, there's all these little things. I can't believe a PS1 game is this complex. Like even like, oh, you get out of that room and then you get all your clothes back because it's after a torture scene, which is what I'm about to talk about. And it's like, only if you got out of the room a certain way, well, then you get all your stuff. And one of your items, if you don't toss it away, right? Like there's one hidden weird like numbers on it. If you don't go through your items, it's like a bomb, and you have to toss it aside. But if you didn't go through your items right there, game over. Like snake, snake. Like I posted my story the other day, like the game over screen, and I was like, I'm getting real fucking familiar with this screen. Let me tell you. But no, the torture scene, it's like this is where you can get 2 endings of the game. If you survive the torture, this character Meryl lives and you escape with her at the end. And that's canon because I guess she reappears in future games. If you don't survive, then she dies and you escape with Otacon at the end and it's like not the canon, whatever. I was like, okay. So I beat that fucking sniper boss, which took me so fucking long. And then I get to the torture thing and I died. I didn't like. I know. Actually, I'm trying to do it because it's literally impossible to tap it that fast. It literally is. I was reading on Reddit. It's impossible. People are like, "You got to take a pen." I'm in my room. Sweat is dripping down my face. I'm like, "Yeah, this is fun, right? This is a fun game. I love you, Kojima." Like, I'm like reading like he did that on purpose, so you feel like you're being tortured. I'm like, "Go fuck yourself. This is a video game, you asshole."
But there's a lot of inventive things in that game, so that's pretty funny.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I fucking hate this game so much, but at the same time, it's like, wow, this is art. Painful, but anyway. So, and this has happened a couple of times in this game. I didn't realize how many sections there were, so I get through the first one. I'm like, oh, okay, I have plenty of my life left. And I like the IGN thing was saying like, you get through as long as you have 50% of your health left after the whatever, you can get through the last one. Go through again. Oh, I got tons of health left. I go through it and I was like, okay, whew, I don't have much left. I got through it and it's just like, all right, so one more, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? There's another one. Like again, I'm dripping sweat in my bedroom. My cat's looking at me like, and then like actually, I was gonna say the first time I went through it, I tapped the touchpad. In the initial game, it's like if you press select, you give up. In this, it's the touchpad, which on the PS5 controller is big.
Enormous.
Yeah. So I'm like holding the controller like this, like got through it, and I'm like. And it's like, so you give up. I'm like, God damn it. So I literally was like, all right, I want to get the cannon one, so I quit. And it brings me back before the fucking boss that I just beat. So I had to beat this fucking boss again that I died of. I can't tell. I was pacing in my room. I was like, I'm done. Fuck this game. I don't care how good this game is. I don't care if I just bought a T-shirt for it. Fuck this game. And then like a few minutes, like hours later, I'm like, oh god damn it. And like I try again. I beat the boss. And then that's when I was saying I get through the torture and I'm like, I got it. I got it. He's like, so one more round, Snake? And I'm like, oh my fucking god. I just did all that and I died anyway. So, oh my god. And then the ketchup thing, I just need a break.
Yeah.
But I cannot believe anyone played this game without a guide when it came out, or anyone. I'm reading people saying, "Yeah, I remember getting this game as like a 12-year-old as a gift, and just so many nights I love this game." I'm like, "Who are you, sadists?"
I was 18, I think, when this came out, and I got a free demo in the PlayStation magazine, and I played it for 10 minutes and went, "Yep, this isn't my game. I'm bad."
It's really hard, but I also kind of love it. I love the atmosphere. The story is a little convoluted, very convoluted.
Oh yeah,
but kind of fun and kind of cool. You can tell he's a fan of anime. There's some stuff in there. It's just like, this is ridiculous.
They really got to adapt it into the movie already, because it has so much weird lore that, James Bond had its moments where it could be a little weird, but they have played it really straight. We need something that's a little kooky, giant mech robots and, clones. And
I think this would be a great movie. And I don't know the story of 2, and I know there's the older ones, and this is definitely a sequel to those. I mean, they're referencing stuff from Metal Gear 1 and 2 that I never played. But I think it could be a good movie. I don't recommend this game on my worst enemy, but also I really appreciate this game, and it may take me way longer than its supposed 6-hour to 12-hour campaign length. It may take me way longer than that. I'm reading that I'm coming to the end of disc 1, but disc 2 is way shorter.
Okay.
So I think I'm a little more than half. But yeah, I definitely small doses. It's like if I beat a boss. I mean, the Psycho Mantis boss, I know you've probably heard all about that.
Yeah, how does that work? Because you were supposed to plug your controller into player 2, so we couldn't read your mind.
You have to go to the... Again, how the fuck did people figure this shit out when this came out? My God.
Well, there were some hints in the original.
I do think I need to use my codec more, because if you call certain people, they'll give you some hints. But yeah, like you have to go and manually just change your port, like on the menu to it, and then
okay.
But
it's not as fun. But does he still do the thing like put your controller on the ground and I'll move it with my mind?
Yeah, but he can't read your memory card, that thing. But he will tell you like, oh, I see you don't save that often. Like he said that to me. I was like, oh, I gotta start saving more.
It doesn't have an autosave?
No, you have to call a character, one of your characters on the codec, and choose to save.
Okay.
But yeah, the Psycho Mantis boss is crazy. They're all crazy. Only one boss was easy, and it was just like this giant tank. And I watched the gameplay from it. I was like, basically avoid it and toss a couple grenades up at the guy, and then it's over. But every other boss has been like, holy shit.
It's upgraded graphic wise as well?
I mean, it might be upscaled a little bit, but
not a lot.
It's not a beautiful game.
Okay.
But yeah, Metal Gear Solid. That does scare you. Literally.
Oh, sorry.
You hear that sound and you're like, fuck. I mean, you can run and evade and whatever, and they'll lose sight of you or whatever. And I did get the cardboard box. Some of them finally.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a test of your patience, this game. And whoever played this when they were younger,
props.
Hats off to you.
I'm glad you brought that game up, because I was really interested in picking up the 3-pack or the re-release of the originals. And I was like, it's one series I never played. I know it's got some stuff in there I'm sure I won't care about. It seems the convoluted story I'm sure what was going to piss me off the most. But then after hearing all that, yeah, I'll never have fun. I will not have fun playing that game. So
I'm playing it on normal, by the way.
So I will not pick it up. So thank you, Nick. You just saved me money. Now, don't get me wrong, it was a free game 1 month. I'm picking up those 3-packs. But
$20 on Amazon right now for the 3-pack.
Yeah, I'm not playing it. I'll add to my library, and then if I have no other games, I'll be like, well, I'm feeling spicy. Let's see what happens.
I want to play the remake of 3, which is coming out in August.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I hear the 3 is the best one.
Yeah, but if I get through this, I might put on 2 just out of curiosity, because I haven't played 2 in a while either. And
is that the one with Raiden?
I think so.
Oh.
But I hear that one's just as hard, if not harder.
Yeah,
so.
and gets really even kookier with the story.
So yeah, I might play. I might play through this, and then Indiana Jones is coming to PS5 finally in a couple weeks. I think I'm gonna get that. Something a little easier, a little
Eh.
lighter on the palate.
I had no interest in Indiana Jones game, and then everyone's like, "No, this game's great."
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's
"All
Bethesda.
right, now I have to fucking play it."
I'm sure it's great.
It's just weird. Like you wouldn't think to go first person for an Indiana Jones
Yeah.
game
You wouldn't.
because he's not just a shooter guy. He's a whip guy and a punching guy more than anything.
That's Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was gonna say something about Metal Gear, but you know what? Fuck it. Let's move on.
All right,
It's all
let's
right.
get
You can cut
to.
all that. Honestly, I
No, that was great. Heated shit's great because in every episode you're just like very quiet on the bar. Even like you're talking like you normally do, but you don't pick up on here as well as Steve or I do. But this, it's like.
That game just fucking kills me.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. Everyone has this like love of Kojima, and I just don't get it. I mean, I understand kind of like the love for Metal Gear a little bit. It's like, oh, this game that's super hard and like doesn't tell you how to do all this shit and super fucking weird, but the story's really serious. And it's like he's gonna follow it up with this other great game. You're gonna deliver packages and walk around for 20 plus hours before you get to the next mission. It's like, well, why do you people like this guy?
He's an innovator.
Well, Silent Hill as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Silent
And those aren't too hard.
Yeah.
I never played Silent Hill.
I never had a problem beating any Silent Hill game.
Yeah.
I'd like to play the remake
Yeah,
that they just came out with, but
Me too.
other than that.
All right, main topic.
Main topic.
All right, Death of a Unicorn, directed by first-time director someone or such face, and he also wrote it. Starring Jenna Ortega and Paul Rudd and Tay Leone and hold on,
Eyebrows.
Eyebrow Kid,
Will
and-
Poulter.
Will
I knew
Poulter,
that.
and old Loki.
Yep.
Yeah, we got Loki and Ant-Man and Golden Guy. I can't remember what was Will Poulter's name in Guardians?
Oh,
Adam.
Adam Warlock. There. you go.
Warlock.
Yeah. Anywho, so quick synopsis. Paul Rudd is a huge piece of shit, and he drags his daughter to go on a vacation to meet the even bigger pieces of shit because of money. And he hits a unicorn and kills it, and then kills it and then doesn't kill it. And then they exploit it, and wackiness ensues and
Turns
stuff.
into common side effects.
Crushed it. You got it, man. That was it.
It's a pretty basic story. We've heard it all before.
Yeah,
Lived
the
it
classic
all
unicorn
before.
story. Yeah.
This movie was fun.
It's fine to below fine
Yeah.
for me, but it's a movie that I think like you watch and you won't necessarily hate it.
No.
It's not a movie I'd say you have to see. I wouldn't even recommend it, but it's just like if you're looking to kill 2 hours, you could watch it.
Yeah.
You know.
You definitely could watch it.
Yeah, it's just you go
It's a
like,
thing
oh
you
yeah,
can do.
I saw that movie, and then
Yeah.
you never really think about it again.
I remember talking about this with something else on the podcast, but it feels like one of those movies that just has the wrong cast. It's not a bad cast, but it feels like alternate dimension casting. They couldn't get their A people, so we got all the B people. And it just feels like a different, if we had a different mix of people, maybe I could have liked it more. But I think Paul Rudd is out of place here.
The Rich family works. I don't think Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega work.
Yeah.
She's doing the same
I
thing
think
she's always done.
those three are good. I mean, Will Poulter's the best part of this movie.
Sure.
And the guy, Noho Hank, because
Yeah.
I don't know the actor's real name, he's got some really good moments. But I think Will Poulter is really good in this, and then the parents are fine.
Mhm.
But I think Paul Rudd is atrocious in this. And Jenna
Yeah.
Ortega is not bad in it. It's just this could have been played by any actress,
Mhm.
and it would have been the same exact performance.
Sure.
I think she only has the one scene at the end where it's like, oh yeah, Jenna Ortega can fucking act. It's about time you did something in this movie. But yeah, I don't think the cast is wrong. I just think that the tone is wrong because it doesn't know if it's a comedy or a horror movie, but it's not really doing either of them that well, which is always I think the biggest. It's the hardest tightrope to cross, like whatever the line, whatever the saying is, to do both. I just don't think it hits it.
Will Poulter knows what type of movie it's supposed to be in. Paul Rudd doesn't. And he's poorly cast because, and I hate to typecast him, but he's usually super nice, goofy guy, not really a bad dude. And he really sucks in this. Like, he doesn't deserve his reconciliation with his daughter. He fucking sucks time and time again. And I think he should have died.
Well, I don't think he's a piece of shit. He consistently makes bad choices, but not because he's a piece of shit. And we understand why at the end.
Sure.
And
but he looks at his daughter and is just kind of like, well, go fuck yourself. I'm going to not listen to you for the third time. And even after all of it and everyone's getting killed, he still has the fucking horn and he's still trying to get something out of it. Like, he's not really redeemed all that well. Like, if he had the little vial...
I think he's shitty on this day. I don't think he's shitty before this instance.
He's probably not as shitty. Yeah.
Their mom, his wife, her mom is dead.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, he is trying his best to raise this daughter. And he's failing at it because, like, you know, it's hard to be a single parent. And, like,
sure.
you know, all this stuff is happening. And she's damaged or whatever. And he's damaged, and now it's just like, oh, here's my opportunity to change our lives forever, but we never have to want for anything. So I get it. Is it thin motivation? Sure. But I think one thing that makes, like you said, Paul Rudd is just a nice guy, so when he's kind of shitty, it's like, oh, well, that's, you know, that feels off.
Mm-hmm.
But I think as a character, his motivation is just like, just go along with the story. There's no real art. They don't give him anything to do until like the last scene with Jenna Ortega's character.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think you could have replaced Paul Rudd with any actor in this and it would have been the same performance. I think you needed to give him something more to work with. Either they needed to make him real shitty or just make him a good guy who was just stuck where he's like, I would like to leave, but we can't because these people are so awful they won't let us.
I think if like Jenna Ortega needed to be kind of roped in on it besides like, do me this favor. Like, hey, you want to get rid of me and you want to go to art school. Okay, well, I will pay for any school. Oh, that one you want to go to in Notre Dame, I'll be able to afford it. And so she has to go along. And like, she may bring up these things and him saying, we got to play nice. Otherwise we don't get this. And her kind of, okay, fine, I will too. I think it would have helped those characters, but it's just, hey, we got to reconnect and you got to do me this favor. Dad, this is a really bad thing. And he's just telling her, like, fuck off the whole time. They didn't mesh very well.
I think what also would have helped the characters if, like, the logic behind her whole thing was, we need to not fuck with these unicorns because I looked at an art book and there's 4 quilts that tell the story of unicorns.
Yeah.
We should listen to this.
That's every horror movie of one
but
Google search, one yearbook photo, and they go, I know the whole story.
But at least with those, typically there's at least evidence like, oh, look at this weird thing. By itself would mean nothing, but it's connected to this murder.
Mm-hmm.
And you see this thing over here, it's connected to this murder, and this has followed us through time. That here's all this evidence. Where it's just like, we've never seen a unicorn before. No one knew these motherfuckers existed.
We don't even have the last quilt anymore.
Yeah. And then here's just a picture I found. I Googled unicorns. This came up. Yeah. I'm basing all of my information on this thing. Yeah. And it just happens to be true. I think that was really thin. And if you're in that situation, you're going to go like, okay, I guess that's something we could go off of, but there's no evidence to establish that these unicorns are this one's gonna die and sacrifice, and you're some true maiden or whatever the fuck. Like all the lore is just based off of like one thing she Google searched on the internet, and it's like, I don't know. I thought that was very, very thin.
Yeah, it was hard to watch of him bashing it to death, them shooting it, and then like harvesting its horn, eating the steak, like. That stuff was, like, as an animal lover, like, I don't fucking like this. This is just bumming me out.
Yeah, I expected him to, like, hit the unicorn. I didn't expect to watch the horse's, or the unicorn's face cave in as he did. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah. I actually like the detail of him eating the unicorn. I mean, I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, it's true.
Just like the little twinkle of purple in there. And I like that.
Them trying to drink the blood and just like, and you know, Will Poulter's going crazy and he's doing all the drugs and he's trying to ingest it in every way, shape, or form. I thought there would be a payoff to that. You know, you can't have too much unicorn, otherwise you inflate or explode.
I think this movie needed to be written and directed by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg.
Okay.
Because you have Will Poulter's character doing all the unicorn drugs.
Mhm.
We've seen that they can do violence and comedy well with like The Boys. I think there is a solid movie here. And I like the idea of the unicorns are the bad guys, or
Mhm.
like, the monsters in this movie.
Yeah.
And I think it has one of the best deaths we'll probably see this year. It was so
Horn
gross.
through the head?
Oh,
Yeah.
disgusting.
There's something about the woman being hooked up and then the other one biting its foot and they're trying to like yank her
Sure.
apart. Which it sucks when you have a bad guy like a Bigfoot, he could bite, he could scratch, he could beat you up or whatever. With a unicorn, it's really how many ways can you stab someone with the horn?
Mhm.
And I think they do a good job of making some sort of variety with it, but it is very limiting.
But there wasn't a ton of people to kill, and even
Sure,
though they
yeah.
had like the machine gun like henchmen guys,
Mhm.
you don't really see them die. You just see them like kind of get taken off, and
Yeah.
you just know they die.
Mhm.
All the like,
But Leone gets her guts bit out.
Mhm.
One through the face. What was the other one? Oh, and like
the face kick.
Will Poulter got kicked in the face,
Mhm.
which I wish that was a little grosser.
I couldn't believe it wasn't gross.
Yeah, like his whole
his
face
face
kicked
shouldn't
off.
exist.
Yeah, like you see where the horseshoes dig through the face. Very silly, like But no one like they talk about like the healing power of all of it,
Sure.
and they had the vials, but no one got to use it. I expected someone like say Leone takes it and she's trying to stuff her guts back in, and like she's still alive, but at what cost? But nobody uses it, and or at the end when Paul Rudd is dying, then they put their horns together and make that weird cloud thing and bring him back. It's like, didn't you have a vial? The doctor showed you the case, and I assumed he took one of the vials, and that would be the thing. But nobody uses it to heal themselves besides the initial, acne, vision, and cancer.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah, you would think that would come into play.
Like the dad keeps taking it, heals himself, and he gets killed again, and then they take it again, and like keeps coming back, and maybe every time he comes back, he's dumber. I don't know, something.
Yeah. That's a good point. You should have done that.
Yeah.
If Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg did it, they would have done that.
They probably would have.
They probably would have.
Yeah. Nick, you got anything to say here? You can just pipe in at any time.
Yeah, I would agree with Steve. I think it's fine to a little less than fine. But I liked it. I agree with everything you guys are saying. I love that death through the bottom of the neck or whatever, through the chin. That was awesome, and I like that unicorn too. Like his horn
design's cool.
Yeah, that was like one thing.
Like a bone horn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like not a version of a unicorn that I've seen.
Sure.
So,
Normally they're like just like those suckers. It's just a swirl that comes out. But yeah. That looked like a true fantasy thing that would have been cut off and you use as a weapon to kill the dragon because you need the unicorn horn. And
I would have liked to, like, because she's looking at all these tapestries and stuff. I would have liked, like, maybe when we get to see a little bit of what she's seeing when she, held the horn, maybe see some of that stuff that we saw on the tapestry in an actual scene.
Flashbacks.
With, like, the Unicorn Wars or something.
Or even if it was just like an animated of the tapestry.
I was hoping for something like that, especially towards the end where I was like, okay, we're gonna see that. I knew like Paul Rudd was gonna eventually get to see what she was seeing, but
which is just
the universe.
Yeah, it's like an X-Men intro, flying through all the bullshit.
Yeah,
Cerebro.
Yeah,
reminded me of like Men in Black. Like
sure.
Yeah.
I expected for her to see her mom and then be like, oh, this truly is heaven and that's our one connection. Is
not that I necessarily wanted that to happen.
Yeah, no.
I did expect something like that.
Yeah.
I also agree that Paul Rudd seemed kind of out of place, which is weird because I normally like him in everything I've seen him in.
Who would be better, like a Danny McBride because he's got that scumbag already on him, or would that be too obvious?
I don't have like I didn't have someone else in mind when I was watching it. I just felt like I didn't love that casting. Really. Yeah. But I do agree, like the family were all really good.
I love their uber rich like logic of like, oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, but actually we should do exactly the opposite thing, but for also good reasons. Like line savage shit.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna I like watching Will Poulter also like keep trying to get like one more hit in all the different ways that he's like packs it in a bowl, he's snorting lines of it. Just I don't know, I thought that was funny. He was just fiending for that unicorn dust.
Yeah, you should have done it one last time where he's just like tying it off.
Yeah,
One
we don't have time for this.
But I also really enjoyed that the family was like master guilt trippers.
Oh yeah, gaslighters and manipulators.
Like you do this thing, you think so low of us, or we're such bad people. We're not the bad people here.
Mhm.
Just do it using every trick in the book to justify what they're doing. And it just made me feel gross. And I was like, I can't wait for these people to die.
Yep.
But yeah, it's
Rupert Grant.
Richard
That's it.
Grant.
Damn it! I thought I had it.
I looked it up right.
Okay.
Good job though. I'm proud of you. Yeah,
Hugh Grant.
Yep.
Go on.
Oh,
he could have been the dad. He's good. He's got good piece of shit energy.
I think he's just a little too old. If
Maybe too
Hugh
old
Grant's,
for this. Yeah.
If Jenna Ortega's his daughter, you're like,
Yeah.
really? What?
Mm.
I like I think the unicorns looked pretty good for the budget they had.
Yeah.
There were some weak moments,
Yeah.
but I don't think that it was ever atrocious.
No. And I'm over special effects.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be hyper realistic.
No.
I get your intent.
But I like the idea of they kind of like go into evil mode and they're black and have the fangs, but then at the end when they kill everybody, they kind of go back into their more traditional unicorn look and all that stuff.
Feels a little racist, but
fair enough.
Take their chains off.
You should hear the little unicorns mixtape. It's a really good rap album, man.
But like them going after the cop cars for me was kind of dumb.
Yeah. Like, are they saying we're still pissed off and we want to kill you again, or do they truly think like we're helping you? Let us run you off into the lake.
And it doesn't seem like they'd want to help them
Yeah.
that much. We already saved your life. Now we're gonna get you out of jail. Do we even know what jail is? Do we even, like, I don't know.
Or are they killing them? Be like, nobody can know that we still exist. If we kill these cops, we can go back in and no one will know anything.
And it looked like they were about to knock them all over, like the whole car into the water or something.
Terrible ending.
Weird ending.
Yeah, I think the idea was that Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega's character don't care if they die because they know where they're going to go.
Yeah, okay.
So they're like, hey, if we make it out of this alive, great. If we don't, we're going to go see mom. Which is just kind of a weird ending of just, so they save you and then they just decide, like, I guess they could, either they're saving you again or they're like, fuck it. Let's kill them because they're going to go up there anyway.
Yeah.
I just think Paul Rudd should have died at the end. I think it would have been more impactful for him to reconcile and go like, okay, I made all the wrong decisions today. You deserve better. And that's it. Like him dying is his redemption kind of thing, because all those bad people should die. And then Jenna Ortega, who is the maiden or whatever in terms of the tapestries, she should be the one who survives, the final girl.
Yeah.
There was no real reason for Paul Rudd to live other than like, it just seems like a studio note of just like, it's too sad, make the dad live. Because you didn't need him to.
No.
And she could have had a moment where he dies, she feels sad, the unicorn comes over, she touches the horn one last time, and then she sees her dad with his mom. It's like, okay, we're going to be fine. Like, you can still have that emotional thing of like, he went there, they're at peace, I'll be at peace, and when I die, I will meet them there. And then I think that would have worked a little bit more. I don't know. This movie is just C- for me. Like I want to hate it more, but there's nothing bad enough about it to where I could say like it's bad. It's just it's a waste, I think, of a concept. It either needed to lean into the comedy stuff more, or lean into the horror stuff more, or throw in another mythical creature that you're just like, oh, I didn't know this thing. There's more mythical creatures, because from the trailer I thought, oh, this is a reserve for mythical creatures.
Oh, okay.
Like the unicorns are the main thing we're running into, but like, oh, there's actually other stuff here. But it's just like, oh, nope, no one, even the rich people didn't know that these things lived here. So,
and they lived in a cave. And they've been around forever. It seems like a weird evolutionary thing for horses to live on like a mountainside in a cave. I was half expecting like they would present as horses and then like their hooves would split and then they would have fingers and then they're climbing up like a cliff face or something. But it's just weird. They're just clippity cloppity horses and I know like goats are really good on mountainsides and can just balance on a little ledge, but I don't know. It just felt weird. Yeah. Maybe if there was like a grotto under the house and they're like, ooh, they say they have magical healing powders in these waters, and because that's where the unicorns like piss in or something like that. And this is the first time running into it. They've just been kind of symbiotic without knowing each other there. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
No, unicorn's cool. In Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, they go into battle and they ride a unicorn into battle. I was like, that's really fucking
That's
cool.
cool, yeah.
We should see more of that. That's a good use of unicorn.
I like the unicorn. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if Jenna Ortega and Paul Rudd got on top of the unicorns, throw in some armor, and charged into battle against the rich people, I would have been fucking all over.
Yeah, you'd think that maybe there would be something where they have to get on one to get the baby away from the rich people or something. But no writing.
Yeah.
I like the unicorn in Cabin in the Woods. You know, that one's pretty good. Yeah. I like the unicorn in Legend.
I like that this unicorn had a raptor claw, Jurassic Park style. That was fun.
Yeah.
Any other good unicorns?
The Last Unicorn, Unico. Yeah.
There's actually a movie that I was gonna recommend to you guys. I've been meaning to for a while. There's a movie called Unicorn Wars. Unicorn Wars. It's a Spanish like animated movie. They're not like particularly like awesome looking unicorns or anything, but it's a pretty brutal movie.
Okay.
Yeah, but I can't think of a lot of movies with unicorns, but that one is pretty great.
Cool. All right. Next week, nothing. The week after that, nothing. Week after that, probably a huge fucking episode because I'm going out of town.
Might need to break it up into 2 parts.
And like we're gonna have Last of Us, we're gonna have Black Mirror, we're gonna have Minecraft movie, we're gonna have the end of Common Side Effects is tonight.
Will Wheel of Time be over by then?
No.
Because we're only on episode 5.
4 or 5. Yeah, 5.
5 episodes.
So, yeah.
So, okay.
So there's just, I mean, Daredevil will be close to it. Like, there's just going to be a lot of stuff to talk about when I get back. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to watch movies while I'm there. So, yeah. So, Steve, you get some time off, but you're going to watch Minecraft movie. You know, we need to talk about that. I need to see. I'm hearing nothing but bad things.
I'd be more excited to see Minecraft movie than like Snow White. But
sure,
I think it would have been a good episode if we did watch Snow White.
Yeah.
I just don't want to watch it.
I don't want to watch it either.
But I think it'd be fun to really rip into it.
Also, next week is Hell of a Summer, that Finn Wolfhard directed movie.
Okay, that looks all right.
The Luckiest Man in America, that Paul Walter Hauser Press Your Luck
Oh,
movie.
yeah, I'd see that.
You know what? Speaking of Common Side Effects, if they do a live adaptation, Paul Walter Hauser as Marshall. Anywho. All right. Well, I'll see you in a couple of weeks. I wish I had an extra episode of Like This Means That to drop or something, but no. But Nick, thanks for stopping by, hanging out once again.
Of course.
No socials, I'm assuming.
Nah, just fuck Metal Gear Solid.
I was going to say, I want updates on Metal Gear. If we come back in a few weeks, then I want you to be done at least the first game. Into the second game.
Well, if you want to get in contact with us, we are at WRPLpodcast@gmail.com. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and Blue Sky. As always, I'm Ben.
And I'm Steve.
And keep consuming.